So today is December the 4th. In case I'm not in here 8th period, or if you're at home, we have taken this measurement practice test in class today. I'm timing you for 5 minutes, and tomorrow's test will look just like this, just in a different order. Now, 8th period. These are the answers that you will need to be able to check your work. Starting out with the top, I will say that a couple questions have been asked today, and I know I'm not in there, so I'm just going to kind of say it. Kids are asking about spelling, and I have said spelling doesn't really matter as long as I can tell what the word is supposed to be. Try to get the S on the end on the ones that need the S, because they're pretty much all plural. But if you forget it, I'll probably be okay with it. The one that worries me is this one. It should say fluid ounces. Okay, and you can pause it right here if kids are still correcting papers. Now on to the bottom part. On the bottom part, these are the missing measurements, and I will say that tomorrow's test, it is tomorrow for 1st through 4th. It is Thursday for 7th and 8th. These measurements need to be memorized, and they can be flip-flopped. I realize that they repeat in different places and things. They will just be in a different order, and they might repeat or might not. Okay, 5 minutes. It'll be a 50-point test, 2 points each in that 60% test category. Okay. The last thing I've talked about today with the kids is a goofy way to remember the ones in green. And it goes back to something a lot of them have already learned, and I'm just going to go over it one last time. They call it the Gallon Castle. It's kind of silly, but the wording is that there once was a Gallon Castle. And it starts with a big G because that is supposed to be your castle. In case parents are watching and wondering what I'm doing. So there once was a Gallon Castle. In that castle, there are 4 queens. Okay? That helps you remember that there's 4 quarts in 1 gallon. Now, each queen has 2 princes, 2 P's. That is to help you remember that there's 2 pints in 1 quart. Or you could say, you could also remember that a gallon, there are 8 pints in a gallon. Okay, last part is each prince has 2 cats. That's where the C's come in. 2 cats. And that C stands for cup. So there's 2 cups in a pint, or you could say there's 4 cups in a quart. Hopefully that helps you remember. You could say that there are 16 cups in a gallon. Okay. The last little part of it is kind of written off to the side, and it just says that each cat, which means 1 cup, drinks 8 fluid ounces of milk, meaning a cat drinks 8 fluid ounces. So there once was a Gallon Castle. The castle had 4 queens. Each queen had 2 princes, I can't say it, and each prince had 2 cats. And those cats drank 8 fluid ounces of milk. So if this helps you to remember it, feel free to jot it on your test paper the day that you take your test. Now, let's go over the math workshop. you might want to pause right here, or 8th period, I need you to pause. You are going to be working on this math workshop review, and it is a lot like the test on Friday. I need you to work this out. Okay.
Donna,
Yes.
I need Gracie Fowler to check out, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I'll post this video later. You might want to just watch it and just make sure you got all the answers right. On the back, this one, some of you have been working on it the last few minutes already, 7th period. Listen, on number 12, this part goes together. This is the actual question right there. Okay. Now, you might want to, I need you to pause it right here so they can be working on it. Thank you. Give them about, I don't know, 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay, so you've hit play, and now I'm going to go over this thing. Kind of weird. I know that I'm having to do it all choppy, but I've got a group that I've got to leave out for a meeting. So, trying to record, but do everything that needs to be done. So, here we go. Looking at this math workshop. I know it's kind of early 7th period, but why not? We'll just do this. Okay, area and perimeter. Biggie is, area needs to be what? Multiplied. Area is multiplied. And perimeter is add. Please get that memorized, guys. So for area, we're going to multiply 15 times 37. And I got 555 feet, and area is squared. The reason it is squared is the tiles on the floor. Those are square tiles. Area takes up space. It is not like a straight line like perimeter. Perimeter is kind of like my pen. It is just a straight measurement. It's going to be like just feet or inches. But area is blocks of space, just like the white tiles on the floor. Okay. Perimeter, to add them all up, I would have 15. Now, don't forget on this, you got to add it twice. And on 37, you got to add it twice. And I got 104. So 104 feet. Yes?
What I did was I knew that the most 15 was 30, so I didn't write that down, and I did 37, I spelled that one.
Yeah. I was trying to do it that way, and then since I was trying to show it for a video, you just can't flip-flop them. These might even have A, B, C, or D answer choices, so be careful that you don't just choose 555 for the perimeter also or something. Just kind of slowly. Okay, 2, 3, and 4. We're doing the comparing of fractions. You could find common denominators. I personally kind of do it the cheating method, and I multiply up and across. So, 7 times 8, 56. 6 times 9, 54. Which one's bigger? 8. That one, 56, which is 8/9. Everybody good on that one? Multiplying up. 9 times 6 is 54. Okay, on number 3. This one, I personally would do this. 3 pizzas, 3 is the same as 3. I would just get rid of those. And then compare the fractions that are left. 5 times 4 is 20. 6 times 3 is 18. That way, I don't even have to worry about the whole numbers, only because they're the same. Okay, the last one, this one, number 4 here. I personally see if I simplify it by 3, if I divide the top and the bottom by 3, I get 5/7. And 5/7 is the same as 5/7, which makes it equal, okay? You can do the multiplying, should still be equal. Okay, now number 5. Number 5 is pentagon. Pentagon. Number 6. Parallelogram. Parallelogram. And number 7.
Upside down.
Trapezoid. Pentagon building in Washington, D.C. And yes, I'm Googling in the middle of class. I want you to see something, and hopefully my phone will quit talking. Yes. If you will look at these images, it may help you remember the Pentagon forever. Listen. Whoops. Of course, it's not going to work now. If you will look at a picture of the Pentagon is a building in Washington, D.C. Can y'all see the shape right there? Even though my phone looks weird. Do y'all see the shape? Okay. It is, for some reason, once I saw the shape of the Pentagon, it really helped me remember which one's which. I just thought I'd show that if you've never seen it, if that'll help you. That is the Pentagon. Okay, we're good? Mia? Somebody did. I think you can from up. I mean, if you're flying over or whatever. Okay, parallelogram. We got these two sides are parallel. And this is why it's a parallelogram. Just trying to throw it out there. Those two sides are parallel. And this is a trapezoid. The key is with a trapezoid is two sides will be parallel, but the other two sides would eventually run into one another. Okay, number 8. What do you think it is? Anybody really tried it yet? I know I've kind of shortened y'all with time. Braden? Okay. One second. C. Okay. Let me start by reading it real quick. It says, Mark asked Morgan why he put the 2 above the 6 and not above the 8. Which of the following could be Morgan's response? So the 2 is placed over the 6 because there are 2 whole number factors of 32 in the number 86. And I'm going to be honest, the key word is going to be factors, meaning numbers like 2 times 17 is 34. Do we want anything like 2? Do we want numbers that are smaller than 34? Or do we want 34 to get larger and get closer to 86? Like larger and closer. Does that make sense? Okay. That is why it is this one, and it's one word difference. The word multiples. Because when you multiply 2 times 34 and you get 68, the multiples is what makes it work. Does that make sense? It's weird. This was a hard one. I knew it wasn't these because the placement does matter. So I knew it wasn't those. But it is that one because of the word multiples. Listen, I'm just glad, if you didn't do A or B, that's a good thing. Okay. Go into the back. Here we go. We've got true or false. A square is always a rectangle. False. Listen, the word always is what's going to get you. Be careful. A quadrilateral is always a rhombus. False. False. A rhombus is a quadrilateral, but a quadrilateral isn't always a rhombus. Okay. All rectangles are also parallelograms. True. Listen, don't just memorize false, false, true. They can be in different orders. Okay? Can be in different orders. Looking at number 12. Stacy's partial solution to one of her homework problems is below. So she's done all this math. Which operation should Stacy do next? Multiply. Yes, she should multiply 3 times 21 to get 63. And you can work it out, guys. If you need to do the math and figure out what her next step would be, that is fine. Whatever it takes to get it right. 13, 14, 15, and 16. You are going to want to take these very seriously and watch a few things because I've seen some mistakes today. The first thing is, when adding, make sure you line up the decimals. So for adding, I'm just going to slide my 2.3 over, lining them up, and I get 69.5. Okay. For number 14, you're fine. For number 14, we've got to do subtraction, lining up the decimals. I'm going to put this one below that one because it's subtraction. 209 has to go below 210. Okay, I have to add a 0 because the 4 kind of stuck out. And I end up with 1.16 because those would both be zeros. I'm recording so you'll have it for later. Yay! Okay, and I'll have it for later for no truth. Number 5, we need to multiply decimals. Here we go. I'm going to do my best to try to fit it in here. 6.21. Now, when multiplying decimals, we're going to line up the right-hand digit. You need a placeholder before doing the 3. I have tried every spot and run out of space. Okay, moving the decimal over 3 times for multiplying. So, final answer 21.114 for that one. Number 16, 2.04 divided by 0.02. Got to bring the decimal twice, and bring it up. They are going to try to trick you with putting the decimal in the wrong place. So be very careful. And then it would be 102. Okay, they're going to try to trick you with 1.02. So be very careful. And obviously for 17 through 20 to be comparing fractions again, it must be pretty important. I'm going to multiply up again. I get 24. I get 21. Makes that fraction larger. This one you can kind of do 2 different ways. I changed this to a mixed and realized that it would be 3 2/7, leaving me with the same 3s, and I can just compare 2/7 and 3/7. Up to you. This really is 24/7, so you could compare them that way. There's more. Okay. This one's a 1, like this is having 1 pizza and some. This is like having 2 pizzas and some. You know if you got 2 whole pizzas, you got more than 1 in anything. So that one's larger. And then this one I just simplified. I would do 2 into this 3, 2 into that 7. I get 3/7 is equal to 3/7. Listen, this test, this math workshop is Friday. Please stop for just a second. It is 100 points. And I'm worried because if there's only 20 questions, it makes it 5 points a question. Study, it's 100 points. Okay. Please study. This thing is Friday. Thank you. That is a 50.